What's going on, everyone? It is Will Mitchell here. It is another beautiful sunny day in Ambergris Caye, Belize. I'm in the office though because I want to get you guys some data points. If you're looking to do a nightly rental, if you're looking to get something on Airbnb, which a lot of our viewers, they hit us up, they say, well, how do I get a rental on Airbnb? Should I go buy a condo? Should I buy a house? What should I get? So this video is going to break down where the current rental data is at, where the current rental market is at, and get you guys fully up to speed on that. So when we get into the details here, there are so many different ways that you can make money in real estate. Some people buy property to hold for appreciation. Some people will buy it and sell it and hold a mortgage on that and essentially be the bank with seller financing. These are all great options, but today it's about rental data. So what I have pulled up on my screen here, and this is what I'm gonna walk you guys through, is an app that allows me to go in and inspect the data for nightly rentals, specifically Airbnb. They also have a little bit of data on VRBO, VRBO, and some other sites, but specifically we're looking at Airbnb. So when you get on the main page here, the key data points that we have for you today, first and foremost, you'll see a market grade. So it grades based on rental demand, revenue growth, seasonality, and regulation. All of these are four big factors that you're going to want to look at when you're choosing a market to have a nightly rental in. So you'll see that Ambergris Caye gets an A grading. We're not going to dive too much into all of that because it's going to be a longer video and I want to get you all the up-to-date data. So right now we have 463 active nightly rentals in the market. And here is our breakdown, which I'm going to show you now. You have 329 rentals that are an entire home. So that could be a condo or a home, but that's when you're getting the entire property or you're renting the entire property. That's 71% of the market. You have 27%, which is a private room within a home. And then something that I find to be rather rare is a shared room, because not many people are coming down trying to share a room. I would guess this is like an extreme budget traveler or someone that's really on a tight budget or really doesn't really care where they're staying. They just want to get a place. So breaking down on the top here, we have three more key stats. So we have our ADR, which we're going to talk about a lot in this video. ADR is your average daily rate. So what are you renting your place for every night? For the market, good, bad, ugly, our ADR is $165, and this is annualized. Our occupancy rate is 48%. You can see some variation. It is a seasonal market, and we are going to dive into that. And also, bear in mind, we're going to break down a bit about unit type as well. So you can see the differences in occupancy on a unit type basis, or if you're really in the top percentile of the market, what does that look like? Because there's so many differences that you have to factor in here. If you're just taking the blanket though, 48%, and the average monthly revenue is $1,844. Now we're going to dive in and really break that down for you guys. Something that if you've been a viewer of the channel for a bit, you've definitely heard us talk about this because this is pretty important information, but the breakdown of unit types in the market. So how many studios, how many one bedrooms, how many two bedrooms, how many three bedrooms, how many four bedrooms, how many 5+. So we have that right here. You'll see that 15 studio units in the rental pool. That's 5% of the rental market. This next one's going to blow your mind. One bedrooms, it's 51% of the rental inventory on Airbnb is one bedrooms. So it's a highly competitive space from a standpoint of being on the island here. There's 169 rentals there. And then you have 77 two beds, that's 23%. Bear in mind that if you're looking at hotels that aren't listed on Airbnb as well, most of those units are going to be studios or a hotel room or a one bed. So really this is a thin space when you get into the three bedrooms, which is 14% of the rental market. Then it gets really crazy when you go above that. 4% of the rental market is four bedroom, and 5+ is 3% of the rental market with only 10 units of that size. This is why we've talked so much about what type of unit are you building or are you buying? Because certain areas of the market are more competitive than other areas of the market. Now we have our rental growth, and this is going to be one that people always ask me questions. They say, Will, look at the rental growth. Why does it look somewhat stagnant? Is that a good thing? Is that a bad thing? Let's unpack that for you guys so everyone has a good idea. So when you're looking at the rental growth, this is the amount of units in the rental inventory here. Why is it stagnant? Because there are a lot of people building homes right now. There's a lot of new stuff coming into the market. How is it that it's not changing? Well, the answer is really simple, guys. there's a certain percentage of people that are currently acquiring property in Belize. Typically, it's people that are relocating here full time, and they're taking those out of the rental inventory. So if Mr. and Mrs. Smith from Florida come down here and they buy a house that used to be rented, but now they're gonna live in Belize full time, that's one unit that exits the rental market. So we see a lot of people moving out here full time right now, taking units that used to be in the rental inventory. So when the new inventory comes in, it's kind of a wash. And that's why you'll see this graph looking like it is. Overall, if you're an owner in the market here, it's a good thing to see that, you know, it's not growing too much, but there's a pretty substantial absorption rate, especially for units in this size or category. Moving down, we have, what are the amenities? So when you guys are traveling, what are you looking for? Well, chances are it's gonna be pretty similar to this if you're going to a tropical destination like Ambergris Caye, Belize. So 93% of people are looking for AC. I'm sitting in my office right now, I got my AC cranking, and when people are traveling, that is a very important category. This one I thought was kind of funny. 8% of people are looking for heating. It's not really necessary here. I mean, if you just turn all the AC units off, you're probably gonna be hot. And even at night, if you turn all the AC units off and you open the windows, you have a nice breeze, it's gonna be a pretty much perfect temperature. But apparently 8% of people are looking for heating. I would disregard that because it would be ridiculous to have that in your house. Next, washer. So 44% of people are looking for a washer, while 35% of people are looking for a dryer. Pretty much based on my, research or expectations, people have realized they can dry their clothes in the sun. That's why they care more about a washer, but still, it's an important amenity to have in your home if you are looking to rent on Airbnb. 76% of people are looking to have a kitchen in the home. You take the average length of a stay when someone visits Belize, it's 5 to 7 days. So say you're on the high end of that at 7 days in the average there, that's gonna be 21 days of 21 meals that you're gonna consume over those days. Some people will choose to eat out every meal. And in a lot of cases when I'm on a vacation, I wanna try all the different restaurants, I wanna try the food, but I know in the morning when I wake up, I'm probably just gonna get a pan out, fry some eggs, and maybe have a piece of toast or something. So you're gonna wanna cook some meals at home, and 76% of people are feeling the same way. Parking, 77% of people are looking for parking. Internet. We've learned now, guys, that internet is more important than water and food and everything else. 97% of people want internet. Make sure your place has internet. Cable TV, and it doesn't really have to be cable. I think this is more just a category based around, does the place have a TV? Because you can have a Fire Stick or an Apple TV or something like that in the home. But 40% of people are looking to have a TV. A pool, 48% of travelers are looking for a pool. So having a pool on your property, like a private pool where you can go chill out during the day, have cocktails, morning dip, you know how it is. That's what you wanna be enjoying when you're in Belize, right? 48% of people agree, and we recommend that any of our people doing purpose-built rentals right now are throwing a pool in the mix. Hot tub's the only one in this category I disagree with, because I think the market doesn't realize yet that having a hot tub is a huge asset, because when you're coming down here during the day, yeah, you're not gonna be in the hot tub, but there's nothing better than at night, you're under the stars, the moon, beautiful Caribbean vibes, and you're sitting in a hot tub, having a rum punch. Come on, guys. For me, at least, on a personal level, I love the hot tubs. So we have a few more items right here, guys. We're not gonna dive too much into it because there's more stuff I want to share with you. At the end of the video, I'm gonna talk about some rentals that our clients are doing right now that are really checking every box so you can get a visual of what those look like. But first and foremost, let's dive into the occupancy category here. So our occupancy rate, when you get to this page right here, is 55%. This is our historical occupancy rates, and they break it down on a percentile basis. So are you in the lower percentiles, like the 25th percentile category? Are you in the upper echelon of rentals, the 90th percentile category? If you're doing a purpose-built rental and you're trying to design something around getting in those top percentiles, which you absolutely can do, this is some of the stuff you can aspire to attain here, guys. So breaking it down, let's fast forward up here to around 2022, January. You'll see if you're in the 90th percentile of rentals, you're hitting a 93% occupancy rate. If you're in the 75th percentile, you're hitting an 81% occupancy rate. It really comes down when you go into the 50th and 25th percentile, which in general, having looked at some of these rentals, They're rentals that don't really check the amenities list. That's why you want to be sure on the first page we looked at, when you're having your rental, you're ticking the important boxes, because it's going to make the difference between you hitting amazing, insane occupancy rates and hitting, average occupancy rates. Even if you look at 30% average occupancy for the worst percentile of the market, it's pretty good, especially considering that, when you go into months like June, you're seeing numbers like 47% occupancy for the worst rentals, the ones that don't check any of the boxes. And that's not even our high season, right, guys? Now let's look at the active listings. Again, this is what we talked about prior. You'll see that overall, all the graphs here remain relatively the same. And then demand growth. This is a pretty important one to look at. Seeing the demand growth as we come out of the pandemic, as we're coming back to life here, it's really back to pre-pandemic numbers, which that's exactly what you want to see. Next up, let's talk about rates. How much are people charging and what are you getting a night? Because that's the second most important, or maybe the most important thing that you need to look at. So starting here for an entire home, average daily rate is $221. If it's professionally managed, they break it down, and then they have the luxury rate here as well. So this is a graph, a little line graph that shows you average daily rates. I have it ticked off here for 3+ bedroom, but let's start here with all unit types because it's important to get a baseline before we break it down, right? So you'll see again, typically the average nightly rental rate, the average daily rental rate is around $200. You'll see in some cases it might drop a little lower. Some cases it might go up to about $323, but it gets more interesting when you take 3 to 6+ bedroom. This is when you'll notice that the ADR goes up to around $500 a night. The next thing you want to look at right here beyond that is this being broken down by luxury, upscale, mid-scale, economy, budget, all these different categories. And this shows you really, again, to drill down on that amenities list, why you want to look at the amenities and what you want to check off, because the differential is pretty substantial, right, guys? Like the budget places are averaging around $200 to $250, while the luxury stuff is around $700 to $1,000 a night, which it's a big difference. And that's critical to have those pools and all those things in your home. So when it does hit the rental market, you are ready. So rental revenue, now we're talking about taking our occupancy rate, meeting it right here with our ADR, boom, you got your rental revenue. So let's look at what that looks like here. Right now we have entire home. Again, we have 3+ bedroom. We'll start with the whole market before diving into that. And you can see that revenue over time is going up. This is probably because of the pandemic and just market growth, more Belize awareness, which you see stuff like Passport Heavy coming out. There's a lot more big news stations showcasing Belize now and really breaking down what it looks like. So going into 2022, you'll see this is again broken down by percentiles. For the entire market, for an entire home, you're looking at a variation of around 1,319 to 7,411 in February. And really it ranges right around this range for your monthly revenue. So depending on what end of the spectrum you're on there, it's still going to be, quite solid, even when you're in the mid percentiles. But when you get into those upper percentiles, it really makes a big difference. Now let's go in and switch our bedrooms to 3+ here. And this will show you that when you go into 3+ bedroom units, it's a big difference. So going into 2022, we're looking at anywhere in the range of about 3,500 up in some cases to around 27,000 in monthly revenue. So this is talking about, the best villas on the island hit this stuff. And then these are kind of your mid-range. And then you have your 50th percentile, and then down here your 25th percentile. So it does make a big difference depending on the caliber of home. And we're going to show you some of the stuff at the end of this. That's why you definitely want to hold out and see what I got for you at the end, because I'm going to talk about what that looks like. Then you have your historical market revenue. And this is just a breakdown of like the whole rental market here. So it's more higher, big picture data. So you guys see exactly why we like to talk about doing larger homes and checking the amenities boxes, because that's what's going to really separate your rental unit when it does get into the rental market. Now, You might be watching this thinking, you know, Will, I love it. I get the data. It all makes sense. But right now, I don't have the wherewithal to do a larger home. I'm looking for something more economical. How can I get in the market? Definitely don't be discouraged. There's opportunities from an equity appreciation standpoint, from land banking, from purchasing a lot and selling with financing and being the bank. We can help you guys with all of that stuff. And those opportunities start, you know, in the range of $7,000 down. So it doesn't have to be a mega villa or something, you know, huge that you're gonna take down. You can start with something smaller. Now let's talk about if you do have the wherewithal and you want to do something crazy. I'm going to show you guys some of the stuff that's going into Mahogany Bay right now and what I'm planning, because I'm eating my own cooking here, guys. I'm looking at the data and taking what I'm seeing, and I'm going to execute my investment strategy based off of that. So guys, now we pull up some of the renderings of some of the rentals that are going into Mahogany Bay, and this is the type of stuff that's going to check the boxes, which is what you want to do. So on lot 369, you have this beautiful 4-bedroom, 4-bath with an 800 square foot porch. The first floor is 1,292 square feet. The second floor is 1,495 square feet. You have a pool, you have a hot tub, you have a sunken living space, and then you have this awesome viewing deck on the top. So when we're looking at homes that really check the boxes, this is a prime example. Having the pool on the property for any of the guests that are coming down, that's the luxury stuff that people are looking for. This is over 2 lots in Mahogany Bay. This is 2 wheelhouses with a little 2-story crofter. Total of 7 bedrooms in this property. Again, you see the pool with the chill deck there. If this doesn't meet the luxury end of the scale of the rental market, quite frankly, I don't know what does, guys, because having your own little compound where you come with your friends, I know when I travel, the first thing we're looking for is what's the vibe going to be at the house? Are we going to be able to chill out, have drinks, make food, enjoy those moments when we're not out at a restaurant or a bar or some activity or a club, something like that? And this is exactly what you want to look for, especially breaking it down, because you have multiple master bedrooms and a ton of space for everyone to enjoy. Now we have a look, guys, at lot 51. Again, this is an awesome little compound that's been designed here by the architectural team for this client. Pool in the middle, nice little green space. You have a casita, you have this 2-story crofter. You have me glitching this thing out, and building out a compound is a really great option. Next up, this is not a huge house, but I just love the design of this. This is the Moonraker design, but it's got this cool little deck added on top of it. Sorry guys, this thing is very sensitive and hard to work, but you got your pool, you got your little viewing patio up top to chill out. You have your 2-bed, 2-bath there, guest casita. Come on guys, this is what I'm talking about. And one more I'm going to show you is this. This is a version of the L'Atelier house. This home has 1,360 square feet on the first floor with 704 on the second floor. It's got a covered porch that's 300 square feet and a 600 square foot balcony. So you got a ton of space here. You have a pool. It's a 4-bed, 4-bath. And the last thing I want to show you guys before I cap this off, our little analysis here about what you should look at when you're investing in the rental market, is the house that I have designed for myself. This is an investment that I'm looking to do. So like I said, guys, I'm eating my own cooking. And this is what we're planning, me and some of the team, is to do, again, the compound style. You have 5 bedrooms over here. You have 1 kind of cool, funky loft over here. This is where the magic happens though, guys, right in the middle here, if I can get this thing to work, which is where the amenities are, you know, day beds, pool, sauna. Of course, guys, the most important thing, the DJ booth. Everything is designed around what's going to check the boxes on Airbnb and how can you hit that area of the market that has essentially no competition. So that's an update on the rental data for you guys. I hope you found this video to be helpful. If you have any questions related to Belize real estate, you know where to reach us. They'll throw my email right there today. And as always, guys, you know we can't wait to see you out here in paradise. Thank you again for watching and subscribing. We really appreciate everyone who is jumping along with us here, really supporting the channel and helping us get you guys more great content. So with that said, we'll see you in the next video.